5-2 Mustangs. Right side over. Bilcik handled it at the net. Meter attacking for the Centaurs. Pushed across by Pa. Sent right side over by Felicia Yang. Lamonic keeps it alive and then over by Walsh. Oh, and then off the hand of Vang. And a point for the Mustangs in a long rally here.
Yeah, I got no problem with that move by Vang. It's an error, but when it's pass that swing, sometimes you try and send it over on 2 to change the rhythm of the play a little bit. It didn't work.
Ace there. And a Pa, senior defensive specialist, as Bilcik got the ace. This one off of DeLuna.
Yeah, Bilic's got a great toss, gets that ball out in front of her and kind of gets her body moving in the right way to take this serve. See it again here.
And across wide by Felicia Yang.
Nice to see the ref kind of letting him play a little bit more here. Swallowed her a little bit, her whistle a little bit as we let some of these questionable sets go on and we let the volleyball decide the outcome.
Willick floating it over. Swanson raced to it, got a hand on it, but Centaurs unable to do any more on that. And it's another Breck point. They've raced out to a 9-2 lead now here in the second set.
DeLuna looking a little frustrated, trying to get herself back under control. Calm before the storm here.
Bilcik really serving well, Andy.
Yeah, Bilcik able to put the ball where she wants it. She's hit actually 4 different zones. She's dropped one short, put a couple into zone 1. That one's in the 116. And now she'll transfer a little bit to the left on the service line. She's going to go short to zone 4. She's surgical with that serve, and it's one of those things, you know, I have all these conversations with people, and they talk about how frustrating missed serves can be. It's a closed skill set. This is where that closed skill set really comes into play. You have complete control of where you want to put this ball, and she puts another one in play with a little pace.
As a coach, how much do you work with players one-on-one on that? First of all, just the execution of the serve, but then once they're proficient at that, finding that zone to try to mix it up.
Well, and different coaches go at it different ways. I'm a big fan, as we have a timeout here, I'm sure we're going to see Coach Bowl talking to her team about what's working well with that serve, where we're attacking, what the point is. I think at this level, at the varsity level, serving to put it in is no longer an option.
Right.
You've really got to have a game plan. So when you're playing against a team with a strong middle, you might want to serve them short, because that tends to get somebody in the middle's way so they can't run the route they want. If you've got a really dominant outside hitter, you might want to hit near them and make them take the first contact, maybe tire them out by the end of the day. There's a lot of different options. Like typically most teams with the utilization of the libero position over the last 10-15 years, that's supposed to be your best serve receive kid. So the general game plan is keep it away from the kid in the other color jersey. And teams that do that with a pretty high success rate tend to get an easier ball back. I was reading an article during right after the Olympics that talked about serving isn't an advantage in some sports, and it actually used volleyball as an example, because teams can run so many routes at you. If you don't serve tough, we're in trouble. Here we have another good serve.
Got like another ace.
It looks that way.
13-2, Breck.
Another good contact. This time she goes back to zone 1. DeLuna not quite getting her body turned towards Bilcik is leading to that ace there.
Goes back right side. This time off of Meter. And DeLuna gets it over. Now let's go off the ceiling and down, and that's a point actually for Breck.
Yeah, if that ball hits the ceiling and it stays on your side, you have contacts left, you get to use them. As soon as it hits the ceiling and crosses the plane of the net, it becomes your opponent's ball.
And this one is out of play. Another point.
Right into the cameraman.
Right off of debris and out of play. Look at it again.
It's coming right at him. This is a great angle. We have a substitution, going to try and shore up the serve receive a little bit here.
Certainly some troubles for Brooklyn Center, but with Bilcik doing everything right on her side, not only getting it in, but you said mixing it up here.
Yeah, it's hard for them to figure out where she's going with that next ball because she's been spraying it all over the court. I think with intent and purpose. You look over at the Breck sideline, and there's different ways to handle it. Some coaches talk about the game plan before we start. Some coaches will give a zone each particular serve. As I look over at the Breck sideline, we're not getting any interaction from the coach as far as what they're trying to attack you, which means it probably was part of the pregame game plan. Another short serve here.
Bilcik with another ace.
Bilcik, the senior here, Coach talked about she was a middle last year, but they moved her to the right side, and I think this probably has to be part of the reason why. She does some really good stuff in the backcourt, including serving very tough.
She, like Peyton Manning, gets to call her own plays because she picked her own spot, and the coaches aren't helping at all.
Well, I tell you what, it's whatever the game plan is, she's a genius for doing it. Entering the game here looks like Ephraim.
Bonnet Ephraim, senior right side hitter, into the match for the first time tonight. And still, it's Lauren Bilcik serving. And another ace. A line drive, that was an excellent serve.
Bilcik with a little jump float here. I like the move to the ball. I love that angle. You can see how the ball kind of has a little bit of spin, but it has a little wobble to it. Like we talked about earlier, here's another jump float. This one gets a little spinny on it.
Luna got a piece of that and hit over, but long and wide by Yang. Felicia Yang, and it's 21-2.
I like the body language we're seeing from the Centaurs right now. Very easy to get frustrated and give up. These girls are still looking at each other. Good eye contact. Good little things getting done right there. I don't think they're going to come back here, but I love the composure of the team. That's a 17-0 run for Bilcik here. Looking for 18. That might be it.
It is.
Can she go 20? That's the question on everybody's mind in the gym right now. She's been on fire. See if she can continue this up. Having a good time behind that service line. Another float coming.
19, one more, Andy, for 20 in the set.
You look at her exchange on this float. She jumps with her left shoulder towards the net, finishes with the right shoulder, and it's just too hot to handle.
At the net, tipped across, and there's the point. Might have been Emerson Allen who got a hand on that ball at the net for Breck. And what a finish for the Mustang. Bilcik serves 20 in a row, many of them aces. This one put back into play by the Centaurs, but put away at the net by Breck right there.
Violation called there, and that'll end it. We're at the end of 2 sets. Breck all over Brooklyn Center.
We'll take a break, come back, set 3. Volleyball tonight from Breck School. And back on 12 Sports in a moment.